Hey you guys, thanks again for joining me. This is Lauren with Delectable You, and today we are making pesto pasta salad with 2 different kinds of tomatoes and some spinach and some pine nuts. I discovered the recipe on my own because I had people coming over and I needed to feed them and I didn't have anything prepared, so I needed something fast. I had tomatoes in the house, I had sun-dried tomatoes in the house, I had pine nuts in the house, I had pesto made in the freezer, and I had spinach, and I had pasta. So I put it all together and I made this awesome salad that we're gonna make together right now. So I've got a pound of orrechiette pasta boiling. It's about to beep at me to tell me that it's ready to come out of the water because it's nice and al dente. And as soon as it does that, I'm gonna show you how to put the salad together and enjoy it for yourself. Okay, so my pasta is ready and I'm rushing to the bowl. And the reason I'm rushing to the bowl is because I'd like to put the spinach in and get it to wilt down from the heat of the pasta. If you want, you could cook the spinach a little bit before and get it to wilt down, but sometimes I just like the crunch of the spinach, so I like to do it this way. So we've got 4 to 5 cups, like I said earlier, of spinach in here. Now I'm going to add 1/4 cup of toasted pine nuts, which I toasted earlier. And I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Now these are sun-dried tomatoes that have been soaked in oil. You can also use the ones that are completely sun-dried and not in oil at all. It's totally your preference. Then I'm going to add these roasted tomatoes. I roasted a pound of cherry tomatoes earlier in olive oil, salt, and pepper, which if you have been watching me for a little while, you know by now that this is the way I like to roast things. So I'm going to add this to the pot. Now, why am I adding these tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes? Well, because I like the taste of both of them, and they give me 2 entirely different textures. So that's why I'm doing it, and the flavors are both kind of different. All right. One last thing we need to do is put in our homemade pesto. If you joined me last week, we made this together. I'm going to put in probably about 1 cup of pesto and then mix it around and then taste it. If I feel like it needs more, then I'm going to put more. It's totally up to you. So let's just mix this around. Okay, this is nice and mixed up, and it looks like there's probably enough pesto on here, but I'm going to just have a little bite just to be sure. Careful, it's still hot. So good. I haven't added any salt and pepper yet because there's salt and pepper in the pesto, but if you feel like the salad needs it, go ahead and add a little bit to taste. I would say 1/2 teaspoon at a time. Mix it and taste it. It's not a bad deal to have to taste it every time you add more salt and pepper because it's really good. If you want to go crazy and you want to add some Parmesan cheese, or you want to add some goat cheese or some other kind of cheese, go nuts. You can really do whatever you want to this. This is a nice little base for you. So that's it. Thanks again for joining me. And just a little shout out to my little cousin May, who's watching in Toronto. I hope that you make this with your mom and that you enjoy it as much as I do. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.